What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Game Show brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy here on Better Sports Network. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-host, Joey Wright. And joining us today, we have our great friend, Brad Menendez, here with us. For those of you that do not know Brad, he is a fantasy football content creator over at our great friends, Roto Heat Fantasy, and he's creating some NFL draft content at Draft Countdown as well. You can find him on Twitter at Roto Heat Brad, and we are hyped to have you back on here with us today.
I'm hyped and honored to be the first guest with this fancy new intro. That was a whole energy right there. I love it. I'm ready to go. How are you guys? It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Oh, I've been like just riding the high all day. We've been working on this new branding, and every time I see it, I'm just getting like little bits of goosebumps. It's been a lot of fun. Glad to get that out there today. Joey, how are you?
I'm good. I just finished another show here on the Better Sports Network with Brett Flynn and Andrew Cooper, and they were loving our new rebrand. They were saying it looks so great. So love seeing them today, but love seeing you guys and ready to play some games. Actually, I don't get to play today. I get to host, but
I hope Brett was doing really well. Joey. And we got Victor in the chat ready for today's show. This is FYF Makeover Edition. I love it. What's up, Victor? Welcome in, my friend. Yeah. We got Jay in the chat. Said happy Monday, FYF fam. And Grim Fan coming in here, hitting us with some of the big news from over the weekend. Ooh. Let's talk about some of this before we say hi to everyone else. Brad, I'll start with you. It was expected. The betting odds had gone that way, but the Titans are expected now to sign DeAndre Hopkins to a 2-year, I believe, $26 million deal. What does this do for D-Hop for his fantasy value now that he's officially on a team?
I mean, DeAndre Hopkins has made every quarterback better, right? Like anytime you've seen him play with somebody, he elevates them. So I think this will be huge. I think this will be even more huge for Treylon Burks to learn from one of the best that's done it. I mean, this could be very beneficial. Fantasy-wise, I mean, I never lowered my value on Hopkins. I mean, you can't – anytime you want to bet against him, no pun intended to better, but anytime you want to bet against him, he always proves everybody wrong. So I would not bet against him. I would say he's probably still got to be considered probably more like a low-end wide receiver 1, high-end wide receiver 2, you know, kind of at the ceiling. Could he be a wide receiver 3 this year because Ryan Tannehill and everything else that's going on there? Maybe, but I wouldn't bet against him.
I'm with you. That's kind of how I viewed his potential landing spots, is even when like Titans and Patriots were thrown out, and those are not exciting. Bad landing spots for a receiver of Hopkins' caliber are still neutral at worst because he's almost quarterback immune. Like, look at the guys he played with in Houston. I always think back, like he even made Savage look like a good quarterback there in Houston, chucking him the ball. Joey, what do you think about D-Hop here? And does this maybe lower Treylon Burks for you?
I mean, it definitely lowered Treylon Burks for me. I dropped him about 5 spots, I think. So not substantial, but enough to where I moved him a little bit. I had DeAndre Hopkins ranked as my wide receiver 21. I didn't move it because I was ranking him as if he was going to go to the Patriots or the Titans, and I was only going to move him up. I love D-Hop. I took him in the 7th round of Scott Fishbowl before the news and was happy when I heard about the news. I think I got a good value on him. 6 out of the last 8 years, he's been a top 10 wide receiver in points per game. Like, let's go. Like,
he's silly.
And he did it with Colt McCoy as well. So he's going to be fine. Draft Hopkins with confidence. I think the days of him being like the wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 in the overall are over. But, you know, if he sneaks in as the wide receiver 10, I won't be surprised at all.
Yeah. Would you be shocked if at the end of the season you saw D-Hop wide receiver 7 PPR? Like if he plays a full season, come on.
Exactly. If anything, Tannehill's efficient. If he doesn't throw a lot, but when he does, he's pretty efficient with the ball. So I think D-Hop's going to be just fine.
We got our friend Sully in here, one of our favorite Canadians. Who love the new look and Roto Heat Brad. Can't miss this one. Welcome in, Sully.
Sully.
Also, our chat historian coming in, Craig, saying today's guest has one win and 1 loss when playing Front Yard Fantasy games.
Josh's fault, not mine.
Yeah, you should go watch that poll perception episode if you haven't seen it. He last appeared on June 23rd, 2021, when you won playing the now retired game, Fantasy Horse. So Brad has won at the game that we have ended up retiring. That record is safe. No one's coming for that one. Dame in here said, hooray, FYF time. What's up, Dame? Welcome in, my friend. We got our friend Daniel in here, hyped to see Brad in here, saying, I was about to say the man, the myth, the legend, and very handsome Brad.
Debatable, but thank you.
Dustin, and you're saying hashtag team host Joey, not even cheering for me or Brad in the game today. And we got Albert down here saying, hello, everyone. What's up, Albert? Welcome in. Also, Dustin, and you're saying, I didn't see him yet, but it's Toronto Dave's birthday. Well, if he comes in here, we'll scream at the top of our lungs. Before we get into our game, Brad, Graham had a question for you. He wants to know if you think the Lions will make the Super Bowl this year. He sees that stuff behind you.
I mean, the hype is real, but I don't think they're a Super Bowl team. I've been a Lions homer since, I'd say, the 80s, but that would age me a little bit. This team they need to show some positive steps more than what we saw at the end of last year. They got to start strong, and it's not going to be easy against a buzzsaw like Kansas City. So I'm thinking playoffs are safe, but I wouldn't go much more than maybe they get a wild card win, maybe round 2, but not Super Bowl this year.
Joey, are you any more optimistic for the Lions making the big game?
So I think there's this like market correction that happens when there's when it's your team. So I think Brad's been a little low on his Lions. I think they can get into the divisional round. I think they get past the wild card round easy. Outside of the 49ers and Eagles, I think the Lions might be the best team in the NFC.
I appreciate that.
Looking great. No, I'm being completely honest. Their defense looked really good down the stretch last year. And had Seattle not won that game, I mean, I think they could have done some damage in the playoffs.
They definitely are a fun team to watch. This is probably the first time since 2014 that I've really enjoyed seeing how this team plays. We need some of these younger guys to take a step before I really feel comfortable, because that defense, we've changed over almost all the cornerbacks, and now we're hoping that some of these young guys really play pivotal roles. So,
and Sully wants to know, have the Lions made the playoffs in your lifetime, Brad?
Twice.
Nice. That's same as me watching the Browns. I've got to watch them win one playoff game in my entire life.
Do they close schools down and stuff when it happens? It's like a snow day.
Not for snow, but for every Lions win, there's no school for a week. We got Scampers in the chat. Says, what's up? Good afternoon, FYFers. Congrats on the awesome rebrand. The intro was so sweet. What's up, Scamps? Glad to have you in here. And we had a question from our friend Tyson. So Dalvin Cook predicted to the Patriots. Would he have any fantasy impact on the Pats, or will Ramondre take all the fantasy relevancy away? Joey, I'll throw this one to you first. If Dalvin Cook goes to the Pats, what is this doing to that RB landscape for you?
Oh, boy. I would drop Ramondre Stevenson down at least 10 spots. I like the talent for Ramondre, but I think Dalvin Cook is still a serviceable back, and it just becomes a muddled backfield there in New England, and I don't want any part of it. I would have to get either of those guys at value, because I think they just eat into each other.
Well, and you have to remember, Minnesota didn't get rid of Dalvin because of his play. Was he like a 1,500-yard runner last year? It was all money related. So whatever team he goes to, I mean, they're going to consider him RB1, or at least certainly in that conversation. And if he goes to New England, I mean, it's the days of you don't trust any New England running back, which, was up until about a year ago. So, I mean, that's just a terrible, terrible landing. Even Miami is a tough landing spot because I like the running backs that are there. Maybe because I'm a Devin Shane homer. But, Dalvin Cook in most places is going to be RB1. I mean, there's no place he goes where I don't think he's in contention for their top back.
Tim, as a Dolphins fan and a fellow Devin Shane truther, will pee his pants if Dalvin Cook goes to the Patriots with the amount that he's drafted that rookie
on camera. He's promised us
again. He's going to pee his pants on camera for everyone to watch. Catch it on the FYF OnlyFans launching next Monday.
That's the Foot channel, right?
Yeah, we still do own rotofeet.com. JL pays for that domain on a yearly basis. So one day we'll do something with it. Guys, today we brought Brad here to play a game that we call Fantasy Football Jeopardy. Joey put it together for us. But before we do that, a couple reminders. First and foremost, if you're not already following Brad on Twitter, go and fix that right now. You can find him there at RotoHeatBrad. And then check out the work he's doing at Roto Heat Fantasy and Draft Countdown as well. Go support those people over there. We got a bunch of the Roto Heat guys in the chat, and it's an awesome team. And I believe we got Mr. Rick Butts coming on Friday as well. So it's a double Roto Heat week this week.
You're sandwiched between the Heat.
The lucky people on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with the bread made out of the sexy man of Roto Heat.
So then our sandwich would be toasted then, because we got heat on both sides.
It's like a bagel.
But do you call it a cheese toasty or a grilled cheese?
Grilled cheese, 100%.
Who's here
Wednesday? Unless I'm peer pressured into calling it a cheese toasty because that's what's listed on a menu. Like if I'll say whatever's on the menu. Know what I mean? I'm not one who's going to see like queso on the menu and order cheese dip. Like whatever it says, I'm gonna read it out loud to the best of my ability.
Can I put something up before you explain the rules, Simon?
100%.
So something was unveiled this past week. Like, I was not disappointed in the slightest when I saw what Scampers looked like. Like
Beautiful.
I was
loved it.
If anything, I love him more now. Like Scampers, we love you so much. I've watched that video of you and JL meeting like
I know
at least 20 times.
I'm just jealous. I'm just jealous of the love that was exchanged there. But one day we'll meet and it'll be fantastic.
I just want to see Scampers pick him up though. Like just kind of lift him up a little bit.
I'm going to. Like I can't wait for Canton. I think he's going to be there.
I'm going to pick JL up. Well, guys, today we are going to play Fantasy Football Jeopardy. I'm going to explain the rules, and then we are going to get into it after one more reminder that I forgot. If you guys are enjoying what we're doing here and you want to watch more of this, we are live every day, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, doing nothing but playing games just like this one with awesome people like our friend Brad. So make sure you hit that sub button, hit the little notification bell on our channel at Front Yard Fantasy or on the Better Sports Network YouTube channel. It'll make sure you never miss any of our shows live every day at 3 p.m. Eastern time. All right, I'm going to explain the rules and we're going to get started. The game today is Fantasy Football Jeopardy. If you've ever watched the TV show Jeopardy, then you know mostly how this is going to work. There's just a couple small changes that we made. One, most of the questions are going to be about the NFL or fantasy, as opposed to a normal Jeopardy where there's questions about like art history and linguistics and potpourri and Nordic mythology. But today it's going to be mostly NFL and fantasy. Whenever it's your turn, we're going to be going in turn order instead of buzzing in. You'll select the category and value of the question that you would like to answer. Get it right, you're going to add those points to your score. Get it wrong, nothing happens. We're not subtracting points here. It is only positives whenever you get them right. Now, there's one other twist in this game. If you get your question right, you get to pick the category for the person that goes after you. Not the value amount, but you will get to send your opponent to whichever category on the board you would like to send them to. This is to mimic the advantage in the game that you get of getting to select the next question that shows up after you get your question right. We'll go like this till we run out of question, run out of time, or Joey's deodorant wears off and his pit stain starts soaking through to the point that it's embarrassing to be seen on camera, at which point we will end the show and go into Final Jeopardy. This is the one and only question in the game where you can lose money. Joey is going to reveal the category for that question that is definitely already written, at which point we will write down our wagers for said question. Get the question right, you're going to add that money to your score. Get it wrong, you will subtract it. Whoever has the most money at the end of the pre-written Final Jeopardy question will be our Fantasy Jeopardy champion for today. Are you guys ready?
Are you ready?
Joey's like, yeah, I'm ready.
I think we saw live on camera. I forgot to write a Final Jeopardy question. We'll figure it out as we go along. Guys, let's take a look at these categories. Brad, you are going to go first today. Simon will go second. But I want to introduce these categories. I'm going to put it up on the screen. First category is easy as 1, 2, 3. I'm going to give you 3 players. You in a category, you put them in the order. You'll see as we go. The greatest category that's ever been here that I've written, Punk X NFL. So we're going to reach the crossroads of pop punk music in the NFL today.
Ooh, baby.
Very exciting.
Delicious.
I'm going to tap into my angst.
Exactly. Grab bag could be anything at all. NFL player Twitter. I'm going to give you an NFL player's Twitter, and you tell me whose Twitter it is. Pretty simple. And I was told there would be no math. You guys will be doing some math today. Yes. I will give you 1, 2, 3 things, and you need to add them up or subtract them and figure out what the number is. So we'll figure it out. So, Brad, you have control of the board. Where would you like to go first?
I mean, we got to do pop punk NFL. That's a whole vibe. So let's go pop punk NFL for 300.
Okay. Fall Out Boy experienced their biggest hit with 2005's Sugar We're Going Down, winning both an MTV Video Award and the karaoke selection of FYF's own Tim Wright. What NFL team drafted defensive tackle Chris Jones after his boy fell out of his pants during the 40-yard dash at the 2016 NFL Combine?
I mean, it's the Kansas City Chiefs, but that is a fantastic line right there.
Thank you. That is correct. It is the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, I'm going to take away 300. Awesome. Simon, do I escape to go back? I apologize.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Brad, you got that question correct. So you get to send Simon to the next category.
I was told there'd be no math.
Give me 300 in that one as well.
Okay. I was told there would be no math. NFL teams that play in New York State plus New England Patriots Super Bowl championships.
Okay. NFL teams that play in New York State. This is a trick. Well, that play their home games in New York State. Let me clarify.
Yes.
Okay, because there's a lot of teams that play in New York State.
This is true.
One team plays in New York State, and that would be the Buffalo Bills, as the Giants and the Jets both play in New Jersey. And the Patriots, I know Brady has 6 there with them. Is it a total of 6? I think so, because or do they have one more? 7 is my final answer.
7 is your final answer.
Yeah.
Oof. What?
Wait, I did my math wrong. It is
you did
7.
Your math wrong.
Yes!
I was about to say, because Buffalo plays in New York.
Buffalo Bills is the trick, yeah. And then, see, I tricked myself. And then 6 is correct. So, Simon, you are correct. You get 300. Beautiful. Simon, you get to send Brad to his next category.
Looks like Victor thought it was 12. Brodo Heat Sully in here with 10. Dustin got it right with 7. Grim, the math was wrong, but the answer was right. 2 + 5 does equal 7, so it works.
That's that good Florida Common Core math right there.
We had a couple 8s in there as well. But nice job, Dustin.
Good one,
fan.
Awesome.
Also, Joey, they were loving your question. We got Sully down here saying best question ever. Now I'm closing this chat back up.
The Super Bowl one? I didn't think it was that funny. But the one about that was the Chris Jones. That was a lot funnier. All right.
I'm gonna
Go ahead.
I'm gonna send Brad back to Pop Punk X NFL.
It's so good. What value?
You know what? Let's go 200.
All right. The Offspring has been pop punk rocking since 1984 with such hits as Pretty Fly for a White Guy and The Kids Are All Right. What NFL offspring finished with the most receiving yards among all running backs in 2022?
I mean, wouldn't it have had to have been Austin Eckler? I'm going to go with Austin Eckler, although I think so.
I'm sorry. It was Christian McCaffrey.
That was
offspring
tricky.
of Ed McCaffrey.
Man, that is tricky because I feel like because he switched teams, I almost just like don't think about him whenever I'm looking at like the leaders for certain things.
He'd have been up there, but
yeah, I believe Eckler was second, but I was surprised when I saw McCaffrey was first.
In 2005, I saw the Offspring at the Vans Warped Tour in Atlanta, Georgia, when I was in the 5th grade. Went there with my dad, and Public Enemy opened up for them and got booed off the stage because all they did was stand on the stage and chant F Bush for 15 minutes until the entire, just over and over and over again. They said, yeah, we're not singing any of our songs. Then the Offspring came out and said, we're not playing Pretty Fly for a White Guy because we hate that effing song. And then they went through the rest of their show, and it was awesome.
I did laugh when you named off songs from the 2000s. I was like, listen, I listened to them in the 90s. Like, you know, that was the jam right there. Their first album that I remember had that goofy skeleton on the cover, and it was fantastic.
Was the Offspring the one that did they were covers, like punk pop covers, or was that a different one? Who was that?
I think it was a different one.
Yeah,
I don't know that Offspring's really done a lot of covers per se. I know like Newfound Glory, like they did a whole cover album.
That's it, Newfound Glory. Yeah. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah.
I am well versed in my pop punk, that's for sure.
So do you guys think that McCaffrey or Eckler is going to be the most receiving yards for running backs this season, or is it somebody different? Is Bijan going to sneak in there?
If the option is McCaffrey and Eckler versus the field, I'll put my money on McCaffrey or Eckler. I feel like I like that bet. There's some nerves around Austin Eckler because of the change in offensive coordinator, but I've been shifting my tune on that recently because he's Austin freaking Eckler, and any offensive coordinator would have to be stupid not to continue utilizing him in that way. That's how he helps your team win. So I'll put my money on Austin Eckler still, but man.
I mean, I think I got a dark horse, my guy, Jahmyr Gibbs, just because he's such a weapon out of the backfield. Yeah. I mean, him or Bijan, if you told me they were it, I wouldn't be surprised, right?
Yeah. That would be do you think that would mean a disappointing season for Amon-Ra St. Brown based on where he's being drafted? If Jahmyr Gibbs was that kind of receiving yards leader, are you expecting enough firepower from this Lions offense to support two of them?
No, I think they'd be fine because, you know, J-Mo's going to be out some games. They're trying to bring up to speed a rookie tight end. I mean, there's enough variables where it's like Jared Goff can support at least three guys pretty significantly with the way this offense is run. So it wouldn't surprise me if you got a running back, a wide receiver, and then, you know, some other wide receiver comes in the mix and has decent production unless J-Mo comes back earlier and gets involved.
All I'm hearing is draft Jared Goff with everything you're saying.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to that. I don't own any Jared Goff shares, but it's not for lack of trying.
All right. Simon, I think you got the full control of the board. Where would you like to go?
Let's go grab bag for 400.
If you were driving a motorcycle with a sidecar, how many wheels are you riding on?
Oh, how many wheels? This is no dually motorcycles, right? This is just like your typical motorcycle.
2-wheel, yeah. I don't think it's...
I know how many wheels a motorcycle has. This question is how many wheels are on a sidecar. I have no way. I'm trying to picture. There's a dog in the picture in my mind, and he's wearing goggles and a scarf.
The old Disney movie.
Maybe is that what picture's coming to my mind? Because I picture like a golden retriever,
101 Dalmatians,
or in goggles and a scarf. Maybe it should be a Dalmatian. I'm picturing like Air Bud on the way to his hockey game in a sidecar. How many wheels is he riding on though? It feels like 2, but maybe that's the trick. Is there only? Maybe there's more. Maybe it's 3. It's a pretty big surface. Would a sidecar stand without a motorcycle next to it, or does it tilt forward and backwards? I'm between 3 and 5. I think there's either 1 wheel or 3 wheels on that sidecar. I'm going to go with 5. I'm going to say you're riding on 5 wheels if you've got a motorcycle with a sidecar.
Simon, you're incorrect. It was
I was so close.
I got it wrong. I thought there was 2 wheels on a sidecar, but
1 wheel on a sidecar.
I even called the Harley Davidson dealership to verify that my information was correct.
And they said, "Shut up," and then hung up on me.
They're like, "Sir, this is a Denny's." I'm like, "Oh, sorry, wrong number."
Harley Dennison?
Yeah, Harley Dennison. Well, we got a barn burner here. Brad, it's going back to you. You got control of the board. Where would you like to go?
Let's do NFL player Twitter for 400. Let's go a little bigger.
At Cheetah.
Is that Tyreek Hill?
It is Tyreek Hill. Yeah, Brad.
Nice job, Brad.
So I saw
in the chat. What's up, Rick? Said I'm late. Hey, Brad's not getting destroyed. No, in fact, he's beating me. Sorry, Jerry.
So this question actually ties into a question that Grim fan threw out to us. Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill says he can reach 2,000 receiving yard mark and win another Super Bowl with Miami. Do you agree with this statement? Brad, what do you think of that?
I mean, I don't disagree with that statement per se, as long as Tua is healthy, because I think Mike White is not really going to be able to carry them from the quarterback position to a Super Bowl. So if Tua is healthy for 16 games, which is a very big question in itself, sure. Otherwise, Tyreek can't throw himself the ball. So
he hit like 1,700 yards last year, while Jalen Waddle still hit 1,400 or close to it. But I'm not going to act like 2,000 yards for Tyreek Hill is out of the question when we're talking about this offense continuing to improve this year. So yeah, like that sounds absurd, 2,000 yards in a Super Bowl, but it could happen.
Let's send him over to easy as 1, 2, 3.
All right, there yet. Easy as 1, 2, 3.
Well, let's make this hard as 1, 2, 3. 500.
Ooh, here we go. Fumbles lost. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and Alvin Kamara. Put them in. Would it be descending order?
So like most fumbles lost to least fumbles lost.
Fumbles lost.
Kamara, Fields, Lawrence.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
The correct answer is Lawrence, Kamara, Fields.
Nice. Perfectly wrong. I got none of them in the right spot.
It's tricky because Justin Fields led the league in fumbles, but he didn't lose a lot of them. So,
man,
that was the trick.
Damn. Well, nice job picking that ball back up, Justin Fields.
I know, right? Or his teammate.
Or his teammate.
Yeah.
Any Chicago Bear in the area.
Exactly. All right. Let's see. Simon, you whiffed big time on that one. So, Brad, you got control of the board. Where would you like to go?
Seeing as we did so well in Pop Punk, we're going to go back to NFL player Twitter for 100.
100. You said 100?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Keep it simple this time.
At King Henry 2 _2. Sorry.
That's fair. Mr. Derrick Henry, obviously.
That is correct. It is Derrick Henry. All right, Brad. How do you feel about Derrick Henry this year? Is this the year he falls off the cliff, or is he going to keep running?
I mean, I could see him have a little decline, but I still think he's got 1,000+ yards in him if they keep giving him the ball and he doesn't get hurt.
Simon?
I forgot to listen to you, so my answer to this question is, can you repeat it?
What do you think about cocktail dresses, and should Derrick Henry win one when he's running the ball this year?
I think that would be rather restrictive to his running, unless it was made out of some sort of athletic material, which you do find more and more in modern clothing, that you find these dress clothes that are actually hiddenly athletic fitted. But if we're talking about his fantasy value, yes, I'm done predicting the downfall of Derrick Henry. As long as Derrick Henry is listed as the starting running back for the Tennessee Titans, I'm going to draft him as a top 5 running back. He's just an exception to the rule about the wheels falling off. And I played that game 3 years ago where I said I was out on Derrick Henry because of the workload. And I'll just have a bad team the year that he finally does fall off, because I'm not going to be a fool and miss out on the next 1 to 2 seasons of elite production.
Perfect.
So we got some people we got JL and Maria stopping by in the chat from out in LA.
Hello.
What's up, JL? What's up, Maria? Welcome in, my friends.
I bet they're wearing fancy sunglasses and drinking cucumber water.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like that's what LA do.
Yeah. And exercising.
Brad, you got that question right. So you get to send Simon wherever you want.
Let's do grab bag.
Ooh, Simon.
Okay, I have this horrible problem where when I get down, I just try to come back by taking the big value amounts, and it makes everything worse. So 500, please, Joey.
If I get through this question without laughing, we have succeeded. Which one of these Broadway show names did I make up? Ankles Away, Back to the Future the Musical, Baroness Fiddlesticks, Caroline or Change, Hitchy Q, Jelly's Last Jam, Once Upon a Mattress, Ragtag, and Wicked.
What kind of Broadway shows are these?
Hitchy Q.
Let me go ahead and maximize this because I need to think. Okay, Wicked is real. I know that one. That's the easy one in there. Ragtag feels real. And maybe that's the trick. But if it is, then good job, Joey, for creating one so non-threatening looking as a fake that I just fell right into that trap. Once Upon a Mattress also feels real. I don't even know what that's quite about, but it sounds
harrowing tale, I'm sure.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe the life of someone growing up told through the lens of their mattress, like that video game Unpacking, if you've ever played it, where it's just like you follow someone's life through all of their different moves. Jelly's Last Jam and Hitchy Coo. I'm getting stuck right here on those two. Hitchy Coo and Hitchy Coo's got, if Joey wrote Hitchy Coo, then I hate him. And he's fired. But besides that, Caroline or Change.
These all sound
Baroness,
so ridiculous.
Baroness Fiddlestick sounds like it's like someone looked at Fiddler on the Roof and was unsure what the sequel should be called, and so they just called it Baroness Fiddlesticks. I'm pulling an audible. I'm voting for Baroness Fiddlesticks as the fake one out of here.
Okay, Baroness Fiddlesticks. Correct answer is Ragtag.
No, you stinky man. Great job.
I made a phone call to my best friend, Siobhan, who's the cameraman for Starts and Citations and is the voice of it when he's ever asking me questions. And we laughed our asses off for about an hour going through Broadway show names. It's just that, like, Jelly's Last Jam, like, that was 5 minutes of us not talking because we were just, like, hyperventilating. So
that one pulled Grim and thought it was that one. Victor said Wicked is awesome. Craig agreed with me on Baroness Fiddlesticks. We had another Jelly's Last Jam. Ankles Away from Victor and Scampers. Sully and JL both thought it was Hitchy Coo. Maria thought it was Ankles Away. And JL thought Baroness Fiddlesticks as well. Daniel coming in, guessing Back to the Future, the musical.
On Broadway right now.
Actually. I'm about to say that was the only one I knew was actually on Broadway.
Yeah.
You got every single person on screen and in the chat. Nice job, Joey.
Thank you. Ragtime is a musical, and there's another. Yeah, so
that's what got me.
Yep. All right.
Wow.
That was too much fun. I love which one of these did I make up categories. Those are so much fun.
Man, I know what's going to happen every time I pick these high value questions, and then I do it anyways.
Yeah. Brad. Simon could not identify his Broadway show. So, which category would you like?
I want to play grab bags. This is a blast. So give me grab bag for 300. I mean, I'll have no idea, but it'll be fun.
How many Fast and Furious movies have there been, including spinoffs? A10.
I think 12.
B11, C12, D13. What are you going with?
I'm going to go 12 because I know there was one where The Rock and the other bald guy hated each other. And then I felt like there was something else. So I'm going to go 12, but it could be 11 or 12. But I'll take 12.
Okay. Correct answer is B. 10 main Fast and Furious movies that have been released.
That's what it was.
Plus Hobbs and Shaw spinoff. How many of those have you seen, Brad?
I mean, I'm sure I've seen them all. I mean,
really?
I think the X, whatever the most recent one is, I haven't seen, but otherwise I've seen all the other ones. Even the crazy one in Tokyo or the hillbilly kids racing kids in a parking lot or whatever.
Hey, put some respect on Tokyo Drift. That is the only Fast and Furious movie I've ever seen. And I love it so much.
It was fun. Up to Fast 5, and I was like, it'll never get better than this. Because they just tried to remake Heat, and they did a pretty good job. So
yep.
I haven't seen anything after Fast 5.
The Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift is one of the movies I've seen the most times. There's just something specific about, like, there's no other movie that quite like scratches the itch of redneck in Tokyo with Bow Wow racing the Yakuza. Like, it's just a beautifully stupid plot line, and I love every single second of it.
I'm all about that action movie, so I'm with you on that one.
All right, Simon, I think you're up. Because Brad couldn't correctly identify the Fast and Furious movies and how many there are. What category would you like to go to?
Well, before we do that, we had an important question from Brainburst in here. Said, hey guys, in the 13th round of my Scott Fishbowl draft, any tips to make FYF John Luke miserable? So I'm guessing they're in there with FYF John Luke. Joey, any draft tips to make JL miserable?
Use the entire clock. Every second of it.
Yeah, you'll be sacrificing relationships with everybody else in that draft
Doesn't matter.
but you'll get to
totally worth it.
All right, any Clemson players.
And then on the clock, JL, when it's not his turn. Just so he's aware.
I'm going to take Pop Punk X NFL. I want in on some of this fun for 500.
Okay. All right. The music video for Green Day's Wake Me Up When September Ends has over 209 million views on YouTube. Which NFL franchise will be the last to play a home game in 2023? Ironically, when September ends. Is it A, Kansas City Chiefs, B, Denver Broncos, or C, Las Vegas Raiders?
Wait, the last team to play a home game in 2023. What does that mean?
So they're the last team that has a home game in this season.
In this season?
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. I guess it's just the last game. That would probably be something with divisional implications. I always feel like Chiefs and Raiders is near the end of the season, but is it going to be at home or away? I think it's in Kansas. Let's go with the Las Vegas Raiders. See.
Okay. That is correct. It is C. The Raiders won't play a home game until Sunday Night Football in Week 3, the final Sunday before September ends. This question wrote itself. It's so beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Good job. Look at you.
All right.
We're back in the game.
I know.
Come back.
Simon, it's going to you. Where are you gonna send Brad?
Brad, I'm sorry. You shook your head no at the beginning, but you're gonna be doing a little bit of math.
Give me 100.
Okay.
We'll go basic on this one.
Tom Brady jersey number plus days in a week.
Is this Patriots Tom Brady or
yeah?
Mm-hmm. It's the same number, right?
Was it 17? I think 17. Was he number 10? I don't know. I hate Tom Brady. I'm gonna go 17. I have no idea. I'm guessing.
All right. Correct answer was 19. TB 12. Tom Brady was 12, and then there are 7 days in a week.
Number. Look at you guys. The chat's on fire. They got it. I should have just said,
good job,
whatever
chat.
The chat says. Look at you guys. You're the real champs here.
The chat. You got Adam in here throwing it out to us.
This is the only jersey number I know. It is notoriously a blind spot in my trivia. I don't know a single jersey number, even my favorite players. And then the ones behind me don't help much because they're just changing their numbers. So,
nope.
All right, Simon, we're going to come back to you. Which category?
Let's go NFL player Twitter for 300.
Okay. At Butt Kicker 7.
This is Harrison Butker.
That is correct, my good
job.
friend Simon.
Yep.
Good job, buddy.
What a great handle. If you've got a name like that and your job is a kicker, you have to do it or you're lame.
Yeah, I was really proud of him. I sent him a DM, but he didn't respond yet. So we'll see.
He'll get to it.
I think so.
Did you include a picture of your feet?
Yep. And then put the link to rotofeet.com. Yeah. I covered all the bases. He should be reaching back out to me very soon.
So we got Strong Style in here with the PEMDAS. Doing it my way. Last time you said PEDMAS, which technically also correct, but I appreciate the PEMDAS instead. And we got Adam in here. What's up, Adam? Welcome in, my friend. And Grim fan knew that was Butker's Twitter. He's a big Butker fan.
Good job, Grim. All right, Simon, did I give you the points on that?
You did.
I did. All right, so you get to send Brad to the next category. Where are you going to send Brad?
Let's send Brad to Pop Punk X NFL, and you get a choice whether to go big or go small on this one.
I mean, we'll go big. We'll go 400, which
all right
could be good or bad.
Rolling Stone magazine listed Blink-182's album Enema of the State, the second greatest pop punk album of all time. Which NFL quarterback has not played in 182 games in his career? A. Matthew Stafford, B. Ryan Tannehill, C. Aaron Rodgers, or D. Joe Flacco?
Tannehill, I guess.
Is that your answer?
Yeah, sure.
And you would be correct.
Nice.
Joe Flacco has played in 183 NFL games. I had to look for a bit to find some active quarterbacks, if you want to call Flacco active.
I would have been very tempted to say Joe Flacco in that one.
Yeah. I was thinking Flacco. I'm like, wait, that was no. The trap.
Man, was it really number 2 on their greatest pop punk albums of all time? It's a good album, but I feel like that's like I'm glad maybe they put it at number 2 because it's such a popular album, but then they didn't give it the nod at number 1.
I mean, this is Rolling Stone, so what do you expect?
Yeah.
I always hold a special place in my heart for that album because I had a project in 11th grade where we used a song from that album for the project, and the teacher wanted a boy-girl partners, and I said, if I dress like the nurse from the Blink-182 video, can I work with my friend Chris? And the teacher was like, you can absolutely do that. And I did. I dressed up as the nurse.
Nice. Beautiful.
And I really leaned into it too.
I bet you pulled it off too.
Oh, well, yeah. I kept it on for most of the day, but it did come off at the end of the day. So, all right. Who got that right? Brad.
I did.
Congratulations. You got that right. You're back in the lead, and you get to send Simon wherever you'd want to send him category wise.
We'll go back to the grab bag because that one's that's the best category on here.
Thank you.
Also, the chat was fully tricked by that question, Joe. You had so many Flacco guesses, some Staffords, and I see only Jay with Tannehill in here. Nice job, Jay getting that one. That's because Jay's a freaking cheater.
Big cheater. Big time cheater.
So I'm in grab bag. I'll take 200.
All right. Elk, the unofficial mascot of Rocky Mountain National Park, experienced growth of up to 1 inch a day to what on their bodies?
I forget what the name of an elk penis is. It has a different name. Just kidding. Oh, yeah. They're antlers.
That is correct. It is their antlers.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
I don't think they call it an antler.
Are you sure? Huh. Well, that really changes the tour I took at Rocky Mountain National Park.
I saw a lot of elk last week. It was pretty crazy. All right. Simon, you got that right. You're bumped back into the lead for $100. Where would you like to send Brad?
Send them to NFL Player Twitter.
We'll go 500. Let's go big.
All right. At C/P84. Really dissect it.
I'm about to say the C part is making me think CD Lamb.
I think I got this one, but
I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna go CD Lamb, but I'm sure I'm wrong.
Okay.
Can I take a shot before you reveal it?
Yeah.
Is it Cordero Patterson?
Oh yeah,
Simon would have gotten it right. It's Cordero Patterson. Yeah.
I had no idea.
C/P84.
There's a list on Sports Reference
yeah,
of all the player Twitters, and I hit that and I was like, there's no way I'm not including that one. I don't care who the player is.
C/P.
Yeah. Simon, you don't get any points for that, but good job. But you do get to pick your own category since Brad missed that one.
You know what? I'm going to do some more math, and I'm going to do the hard math for 500.
All right. Patrick Mahomes MVP trophies plus Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl MVP trophies plus Patrick Mahomes Pro Bowl selections. And these are selections, not Pro Bowl games that Patrick Mahomes played in. I want to be clear on that. So how many times was he selected to the Pro Bowl?
Okay.
Okay.
I think he's a 2-time MVP.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a thing. Like, it was a big deal that he was that 2-time MVP. Super Bowl MVP trophies. I'm trying to remember if he won MVP in both of the Super Bowls that he's won, and I'm having a hard time imagining that he didn't. If I remember, Damian Williams should have won Super Bowl MVP in one of the years, but they did not give it to him. So I'm going to go with 4. And then his Pro Bowl selections. Selections, right? Now, but can you be selected to the Pro Bowl? How many seasons has he been in the NFL? Carry the 7, divide by
1 + 2 + 1 + 2.
I'm going to try to Queen's Cam it. See if it appears to me on the ceiling. 7.
So is 7 the number of Pro Bowl selections, or is 7 the total?
7's the total number of everything.
Okay. It's actually not.
Damn it!
He has 2 MVP trophies in both the Super Bowl and regular season each, and then he has 5 Pro Bowl selections. So
that's what I was unsure of.
So
I went with 3 Pro Bowl selections just as a round number, but it didn't work.
So when I was looking this question up, like to get the information for it, they have this little tracker number on Sports Reference that they say Patrick Mahomes would not be in the NFL if his career were to end today. Do you guys agree with that? Yeah, Hall of Fame. What did I say?
NFL.
You said he wouldn't be in the NFL. I was like, no, he wouldn't be in the NFL.
Yeah, if his career ended today, I agree he would not be in the NFL. But
yeah,
I don't know. If we're being honest, I think it depends on, and this is going to sound bad, how his career ended. If it kind of flamed out and he turned bad and had one horrible season then left the league, yeah, I don't think he enters the NFL. If he breaks his leg and never plays again, or doesn't make the Hall of Fame, if it's something that prevents him from continuing his career, I think he does go into the Hall of Fame. So
what if
like,
he
I think
pulls a Barry Sanders and walks away?
I don't know. It's been one of the greatest 5-year stretches of any quarterback that's ever played the game. It'd be hard to say no, but longevity is a part of it.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with you.
I say yes. I'd say put him in, even if he walked away from the game today.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think he's got to be a first balloter. I mean, because they do. What do you got to be out for 5 years before you get in, so people still remember him and still be comparing people to him. Like, I don't know how he wouldn't be a first balloter at this point.
Simon, you got that one wrong. So, Brad, you get to pick your next category.
Well, let's just finish off the NFL player Twitter. Let's see what else craziness can happen.
Russ Wilson.
That's pretty easy.
Russ Wilson.
We'll go Russell Wilson. That's a little more.
That is correct, Brad.
Joey, I think it is pronounced dangerous. Like the word dangerous.
I always called it Dangy Russ.
Dangy Russ Wilson. I like that better. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe I gave it away when I pronounced it that way.
No, it's perfect.
There's no listing of pronunciations of player Twitters. So good job.
Awesome.
So are you guys optimistic on Russell Wilson heading into next year?
I mean, Sean Payton can fix, just about anybody, I would think, right? Like, he's done a really good job with people. So I don't put it past him. I don't own any Russell Wilson shares either, though.
I'm excited for him. Cautiously optimistic, I think, is the best way to put it. Not putting all my eggs in the Russell Wilson basket, but I'll be drafting him at ADP in a couple places in case we get exactly what Brad said. Sean Payton comes in and everything we thought the Broncos were going to be last season just comes to fruition this season. I feel like we really undersell how horrible of a coach Nathaniel Hackett is. Like, we talk so much about Urban Meyer and about all these other guys, but like, Nathaniel Hackett was so bad that he hadn't lost the locker room. The players were still on his side and they fired him mid-season. Like it wasn't like a cultural catastrophe like you see oftentimes when these coaches start melting down. He was very good at the leadership part, just so inept as a football head coach. So I think we could see like major differences in how this Denver offense looks this year.
Craig out here firing shots. Now, if we want to talk about people who will get into the Hall of Fame and shouldn't, Eli Manning, ...
Wait, let me do my best Jay Felicio impression. You mean 2-time Super Bowl champion Eli Manning?
Jay, I didn't know you were going to be on the show today. That was really good, Simon.
Thanks.
All right. So let's see. Who got that last one right?
That was me.
I should try that.
Yeah.
Well, Brad, I want to congratulate you on getting that question right. And to reward you, I'm going to let you pick Simon's next category.
Let's go easy as 1, 2, 3.
Okay, Simon.
Okay, easy as 1, 2, 3 for 300.
All right, easy as 1, 2, 3, 300. Receptions. This is last year. Zay Jones, Devonta Smith, and Terry McLaurin.
Ooh, Zay Jones had way more than you think. Devonta Smith, Zay Jones, Terry McLaurin.
One more time.
Devonta Smith, Zay Jones, Terry McLaurin.
Good job, Simon.
Look at you. Well
got
done.
that one right.
Zay Jones is one of those players that every time I'm going through that list, I'm shocked about how high up he is on it. Also, I see Maria in the chat saying, "What? Jay, hold me back." Just to be clear, that was a Jay impression, but I do agree with Jay that I think Eli Manning should be in the Hall of Fame after what he did.
They have a nice bathroom. They could put his plaque on there.
I think it belongs in the hall.
Apple MVP. Welcome
What's
back.
up, Apple?
Saying, wow, it's been a while since I've checked in on you guys. I'm glad to see Simon is doing well.
I don't know whether Joey should be offended or whether I should be offended. Either you were only concerned that I wouldn't be doing well or you don't care about Joey.
Well, no, I assumed that he was a viewer from before I was on the show. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself so I can sleep tonight.
Welcome back, Apple.
Welcome. All right. Simon, you got that right. So you can send Brad in the next category.
Brad, let's send you to easy as 1, 2, 3.
Let's go. Okay, so let's get at least ahead of you. Let's go 400 because I want to be ahead.
For 400? Receiving touchdowns. Jerick McKinnon, George Kittle, and Jahan Dotson.
Ooh.
This is a fun one.
Maybe I shouldn't have taken this one. Let's see here. So
this is tricky.
I'm probably going to be really wrong. So I'm just going to guess Kittle, McKinnon, Dotson.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It is Kittle, McKinnon, Dotson. Kittle had 11. Jerick McKinnon had 9. That's like the number that will forever be ingrained in my head. And Jahan Dotson had 7. Really,
I was going back and forth on Kittle and McKinnon because it felt like McKinnon should have been 1. I don't remember 11 touchdowns from George Kittle, but how does he not have them? How does he not have more receiving touchdowns than those guys with the amount of games he played? And him and Brock Purdy were on a roll at the end, if I remember correctly.
I want to say the Mexico game, Kittle had like 3. Like he had a lot in that game. I remember he wore the luchador mask afterwards. And you don't just wear a luchador mask if you have a shitty game. So
no, you need to have at least 2 receiving touchdowns to throw that on without mockery.
Basically. Brad, you got that right, so you get to send Simon somewhere.
Let's do that. I was told there'd be no math.
All right.
Give me 400. I don't learn my lesson.
Teams Kirk Cousins has played for, plus teams Brandon Cooks has played for.
Easy.
Commanders and Vikings, I believe. So just 2. I'm assuming this is NFL teams.
And I need to clarify with Brandon Cooks. He has played for the teams. So his current team would not count because he's not played on
the Patriots. He's played on the Texans. He's played on the Rams. He's played on the Saints. He's played on another team that I am forgetting. I think it's 5. So I'm going to go with 7.
Correct answer 6.
Oh,
there was no 5th team you were thinking of. That's why I clarified. Like he's not played for the Cowboys yet. So.
Oh, and he had 2 stints with the Texans, didn't he? And that's maybe what threw me off. Didn't he go there twice or no? Am I misremembering that?
It's just the end of his career. Like that was the most
Saints, Texans, Rams, Patriots. Man, I should have trusted myself more on that one.
Isn't it crazy that he has the majority of his work with the Texans? Like that's where the majority of his work from his career came from, the receiving yards.
Whenever I think Brandon Cooks, I imagine him in a Texans jersey. Like that is the jersey that I picture him in whenever I close my eyes.
For me, he's Rams. I don't know why.
If he's wearing a jersey.
Ooh, I like where your head's at, Simon. Simon, you missed that one. So, Brad, we're going to come back to you. Get to pick your own category.
Let's go grab bag. Let's finish it off. Grab bag for 100.
Make an animal sound.
Woof.
Well, that's correct. Good job.
Nice job. What if someone would have said no and you had good job written there? What if Brad would have been like, absolutely not, you fool. I refuse to make an animal sound.
I didn't think about what would happen. I
don't like animals.
Would do it. Oh gosh. I think everyone was hoping Simon was going to get that one, but Brad, you get to pick Simon's next category.
And Grim had the same answer as you, Brad.
I like it. Let's finish off the pop punk category.
All right, Simon, ready?
Let's do it.
Then the name for the pop punk band Good Charlotte was taken from the 1994 children's book Good Charlotte by Carol Beach York. What NFL team calls Charlotte, North Carolina home?
That would be the Carolina Panthers.
That's why it's a $100 question. Good job, Simon.
I'll take that one. And now I'm going to be singing Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous for the remainder of the day.
As soon as you said it, that was the first thing I thought.
Lifestyle. It's just like blasted in my head. Yeah.
Simon, you get to send Brad to a category.
Brad, let's send you to easy as 1, 2, 3. Give you a choice in which question you would like.
Let's just do 100. Let's make it simple.
Okay. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Passing yards, Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, and Carson Wentz.
In that order.
Very good. Patrick Mahomes had 5,250 yards. Trevor Lawrence had 4,101. I can't read numbers today. 4,113 yards. And Carson Wentz had a lot less than that at 1,755. One day I'll start being nice to Carson Wentz. That day is not today. Brad, you got that right. So you get to send Simon. I think this will be Simon's last question.
Yeah, and make sure Brad gets his money for that when he was at 1,900 before.
Okay.
Oh, we can go tied up in the final Jeopardy, but let's see. Let's do that. I was told there'd be no math because he does great with that.
All right.
Yeah, I've missed all of those so far, I think.
No, I think you got one.
You're right. I got the 100 or the 300, I think.
All right. Chiefs Super Bowl wins since 2018 plus toes on the average human foot.
By average,
I said average. Yeah.
Do you mean median or mean?
I mean the median.
Okay. Because I think if this was the mean, I bet the number would actually be slightly above or slightly below 5, because I bet there are a higher number of people who either have less than 5 toes or more than 5 toes on a foot, which would bring. Like, I bet it's more common to have an extra toe than to be missing a toe, or the other way around.
I disagree with you on that, Simon.
You think the same number? Well, I'm saying I don't know which side it is, but I don't think they're equal. I don't think that there's the same number of people that have fewer than 5 toes that have more than 5 toes.
I think some people lost some toes out there. I think there's a lot of people.
Okay, you know what? I'm with you. So I bet the actual average, if we're talking mean, is like 4.7. But if we're talking median, we'll just go with 5. We'll go with 5. And Chiefs Super Bowl win since 2018. I think they got 2. So that would be 7.
That is correct, Simon. We go into Final Jeopardy tied. And as we learned from the beginning of the show, Joey did not write a Final Jeopardy question. So I think we can use the easiest 1, 2, 3 question, can't we?
Let's do it.
Yeah. I do have one if we need to go there, but I think we can just use this one.
Wait, before you show it, we got to write down our wagers.
So please write down your wagers. You both have $2,000. You cannot wager any more than $2,000. That is what you have to wager with. Yep.
You are not going to believe what the Would You Rather on my Would You Rather calendar from June 14th, which was the first day on there that I just pulled off, says.
What does it say?
Look at the one on the right.
I can't read it.
It says have 7 fingers on each hand or have 6 toes on each foot. Is what it says right there.
That's crazy. It's like I was in your house this morning. You didn't know.
And he's still there.
Okay. I wrote down my wager.
Okay. Are you ready? Brad, do you have your wager?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Yep.
Simon's going all in.
Same here.
Oh, this is going to be really easy for me. We could either have a tie or everyone loses or we have one winner. So this will be easy as 1, 2, 3. Put the categories. I'll give you the category. You put the players in order. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Rushing yards. Derrick Henry, Tyler Algier, and Aaron Jones. Actually, a little more difficult than I thought.
Yeah, this one is a little.
This works. This works for Final Jeopardy.
This is a little bit tricky, Joey.
Ooh. Guys, I have some bad news.
What?
Jail is dead.
No, I love him.
Number 2. All right.
Yeah, Congratulations on the promotion, Joey.
I hope he's not really.
No, I think that was in response to Apple MVP earlier saying, glad to see Simon's all right.
Oh, yeah, he did say, glad to see you, Apple.
Okay, I'm going with this. Brad, you got yours?
Yep.
Maria called my hosting today amazing. Thank you, Maria, for that. Appreciate that. Always a supporter of me. All right, guys, reveal your answers.
Henry, Jones, Algier.
And I said Henry, Algier, Jones.
The correct answer is Henry, Jones, Algier.
No!
Brad, you are a winner with $4,000 to Simon's big old fat goose egg. Congratulations on your victory today. I believe you're now 2-1 on the FYF show. Well,
I don't count the duos where I wasn't allowed to control my own team, so I'm 2-0. I strike the other one from the record.
Yeah,
it's been officially struck from the record. Teams with Josh doesn't count for Brad. Whew, man, my knowledge of Algier being a 1,000-yard rusher has come back to bite me in that question. That has served me well all off season, and now it got me. But Brad, great job, barn burner of a game, and you pulled out the W. Everybody watching, if you are not already following our friend Bad Brad, you need to go and follow him right now on Twitter at Roto Heat Brad. And again, we love the whole Roto Heat team over there. So make sure you're checking out his work over there at Roto Heat. And then come back on Friday and every day in between because we got Rick Butts, another member of that team, coming to hang out with us. Brad, anybody you'd like to thank after pulling that victory out?
Tyler Algier, obviously, because as much as I love him, you love him more, it seems like, and he helped me to this win. Thank you. Thank you guys as always for having me. I do appreciate getting to be on here, and hopefully we get to do a little bit more. I love hanging out with you guys.
We got to have you back on sooner rather than later. Guys, that is going to be it for us today. Before we go, though, if everybody here is curious about what's going on with the DeAndre Hopkins situation and we didn't give you enough to quench your thirst for that knowledge here on today's show, you can check out the fantasy football analysis of DeAndre Hopkins signing with Tennessee on fantasyalarm.com. Until tomorrow, though, until tonight, at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we are out of here. So come back at 8 p.m. to play some fantasy football pub trivia with us. Myself, Joey, and Tim Wright are going to be hosting a special edition of Muppets Fantasy Football Pub Trivia. So if you know NFL, if you know Muppets, come and hang out with us and try to beat everybody in the chat. Until then, though, we are out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. We'll see you guys at 8 p.m. tonight. Adios, everyone.
So like this new rebrand, it's like a remind me of a Wes Anderson movie. I just keep looking around.